You are John. You wake up. You are currently being held up at knife point. There's a large man standing in front of you, shaking you and saying, "All right, if I told you once, I told you twice. You keep your hands off of him, or I swear there's going to be trouble." And he waves a knife in your face.
What is around me?
There is like a dumpster over here, some trash bags on the ground. The guy in front of you is wearing a really sharp leather jacket and holding a really sharp knife.
Okay, I want to attempt to. Am I tied or is?
No, he's just slamming you against the wall by your shirt.
I want to attempt to push him down and run past him.
Okay, roll. Okay, before you roll, remember you can spend willpower to buff your roll. Even if you fail, you do lose the willpower.
Fail.
All right, you fail. Battle for control of John. All right, Jess, you are suddenly John. You realize you're going like this, pushing up against the guy. And he goes. Oh, so you want to fight now, is it? You want to fight now?
I fucking bolt.
Yeah, no, that's covered. You go ahead and you just yank away
Down the
and
alley.
bolt down the alley and sprint out. You hear yelling behind you grow more and more distant as he chases you, but you bolt onto the street. You are wearing very tattered clothes, no shoes whatsoever, but you have nice gloves.
You took my shoes?
You don't know. You have no idea if you had them.
Oh, yeah.
You have no idea if you had them. You are wearing nice gloves.
Oh, that's nice. I want to get to a crowd location like a bus stop.
Okay, you run down the street towards a bus stop. There are a bunch of people standing there looking at the bus. You're not really, inconspicuous, but you're in Minneapolis, so people finally just...
They just assume I'm going to ask for change.
Yeah.
I camouflage myself in with the people.
Okay.
And I'm assuming waiting for the bus.
Yes. About 2 minutes later, a bus shows up.
Alright, I get on the bus.
All right, you get on the bus with people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, get on the bus.
I sit down on someone's lap.
Okay, you sit right on someone's lap. The woman looks up at you and says, "What are you doing? Get off of me!"
I start giggling like a child.
No. She shoves you off of her body.
I attempt to sit on the bus driver's lap.
You sit on the bus driver's lap, and
Jess's.
And he looks at you, and he grabs you. He says, "All right, last stop." He pulls on the cable, opens the door, flings you out, and you come to a skidding halt outside. Battle for control of John. Tell me, you're John. You're laying on your stomach on the side of the road, more or less, with like your feet kicked up behind you. A bus speeds off down the road.
I am happy because he has conveniently led me closer to a target.
There's a target.
The bus went like 3 feet.
I run into the target and I go to the food section.
You run to a target and you burst in. You burst in and you sprint over to the food section.
I inconspicuously go to the drink section and go open the door.
You open the door.
I take out a milk jug. I put it under my shirt and I start knocking out a target.
Roll to go ahead and try and
What's
escape
hilarious
the
is
target.
in Target, you wouldn't even have to do that. You could walk out with it in your hand.
Why did it have to be a target?
Alright, you sneak out. Everyone battle for control of John. You are now John. You're standing outside of a target. Your back is cold and wet.
Fill the milk jug and drop it.
You drop a milk jug on the floor.
I go back into target.
You walk back into the target.
I go into aisle C23.
That's home furnishings.
Yeah, it is actually. And I look for light bulbs.
Okay, you go around, you look around. Yeah, there's some light bulbs there.
Can I look for a cart near me?
There's super no carts. You are in the middle of the target.
Okay, I grab an
Use your
armful
shirt.
of.
Use your shirt.
Yeah, I just put them in my shirt to find a basket.
Okay.
So I look for a cart with my...
Yeah, you find a cart.
Okay, so I put the light bulbs in the cart.
Put the light bulbs in the cart.
Okay, and I try to bolt out.
Out the front door?
Yeah.
Okay. A guard sees you because you are not doing this inconspicuously. And he says, hey, what are you doing? And he tries to jump in front of the cart to stop you.
I'm gonna roll to keep going out of target, because once out of target, they can't do anything.
Attempt.
Oh. 6.
6. You succeed. You escape the target.
How many light bulbs did I have?
You acquired 4 per pack. Then you acquired about, I think, 12.
Okay.
And you, everyone battle for control of John. You can no longer participate unless someone goes to sleep. You are John. You're standing outside a Target with a thing full of light bulbs. There's someone behind you yelling, chasing after you.
I push the cart forward.
Yeah.
And keep going. And I turn back and I start running to the guy and I run past him into the target.
You run into the target. This guy's like, what is going on? And the guy turns around, pulls out his phone, calls someone, and then chases after you.
I go up to whatever, when you go into the store, there's like stuff out in the front there that's not in the main shelves, and I start throwing it out all behind me on the ground.
You start just...
Never mind, I know what Jess is
the biggest fucking mess in the entire world. The guy runs up behind you, and a few other employees run up and start trying to pull you off of what you're doing.
I start screaming, Macbeth! Macbeth! What the hell?
Someone says, you call it the Scottish play! And they start trying to drag you out of the store.
I continue screaming Macbeth as they do so.
Alright, they toss you out of the store and you land on your
How many
ass.
times do I scream Macbeth?
You scream Macbeth 4 times.
4 times?
4 times. They work quickly.
Okay.
Okay, you land on your ass. Battle for control of John. Alright, you're still John. You're on your ass.
Alright.
There are people yelling at you from behind, telling you to get a job, you bum.
Okay, so I'm on the ground in front of the target.
Yes.
I run back now. I'm kidding. I run forward towards
More
the...
flashbacks.
Towards the... I'm assuming... Are the light bulbs still in the cart?
They're still in the car. They like smacked against the car.
Ooh. I'm so sorry, buddy. What are the buildings around us?
You look around. There is like a shoe store down there. A little bit further, there's like a KFC.
Do I have any money?
No, your wallet is super empty.
Okay, so I don't have shoes. I go into the shoe store.
Alright, you walk into the shoe store.
And I go up to the employee.
Okay.
I say, I need shoes. Can you size my feet for me?
Sure. The guy sits down. He starts measuring your feet.
And I start moaning.
He looks at you. He assumes he's hearing something wrong. He says,
What does his name tag say?
He says 11. His name tag says Steve.
Oh, Steve!
He says, give me 1 minute, sir. And he stands up and he starts talking with someone who's clearly
Baby, come back.
He's clearly his manager.
You can blame it all on Steve. Baby, come back.
The manager walks out and says, sir, I'm sorry. I'm afraid we're going to have to ask you to leave.
Oh, no. I have to get shoes, though.
Look, okay. All right. What are you looking for specifically, sir?
A size 11, evidently.
All right. Well, that's fine. Are you looking for something within a budget?
I want to talk to Steve.
Steve very, very nervously steps out from behind his manager.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
And I wink.
He does not wink back.
Why not?
There are a lot of
I
different
rolled
answers.
to charm Steve.
Go ahead.
Can I do that?
Yes.
You can attempt to charm Steve.
Get a 6. 4.
Battle for control of John! You are now John.
That makes it very
You know what's funny?
You don't know what you just said, but you're sitting there like this, and Steve looks horrified. He says, you need to leave right now. That kind of language is not allowed in this kind of an establishment.
Okay, I don't know why I was here anyway. I leave.
You're here for a size 11!
Oh yeah, well can I get my shoes?
And I am happy because I did not wander far from Target.
Alright, you go and you approach the target. There's someone standing near the front that turns around and scowls as he sees you approach, and he says, oh my god, this asshole again.
I am scared about how rude and scary he looks, so I try to find an alternative.
You wander around the perimeter of the target. You see that there's like a back entrance that you think is probably used for like loading and unloading.
I go in.
That's a really bold statement. Zach, how easy is it to get into the back entrance of a target?
You can't get in.
Is there
There's no handle on the doors on the outside, and the shipping bay, we can only open it from the only way in is actually the
Okay,
front
I
door.
go back to the front, I start crying.
You go back to the front and just start crying. The guy walks in and goes, now, what do you want?
I have a really hard day.
Yeah, I could guess.
I feel like I hurt all the people around me. And I don't mean to.
The guy looks at you and says, look, just buddy, what can I do to help you? Just come on, man.
You know, I really just found a lot of therapy and just shopping at Target.
He says, look, pal, if you just take it easy, you can shop in the store. Just don't wreck anything else. All right.
I'm just gonna look around.
All right, go into the Target.
And I go to the food section.
You
You're the first person to steal something!
Go back to the food section.
And inconspicuously, I take the milk and put it in my pants.
Roll to hide milk.
4.
Yeah, you hide the milk.
Oh my god, that's one of your skills!
And I wait until the guard is like looking away or talking
You
to
have
someone.
you have a point of time. You all right? You step outside. Battle for control of John. Alright. You are now John. Your ass is cold.
Oh, am I still in the food section?
And what? No, you're outside the target.
I'm outside the target?
Yeah.
Okay, what else was around?
There was a KFC nearby. You could probably turn around.
The Payless is still there. You can go say hi to Steve.
Oh my god, I go into the Payless.
Do you still have the milk in your
Yes,
hand?
yes. I go into the Payless.
You go back into the Payless, and he turns around and says, "Oh my fucking god!"
I pull the milk out.
Oh my god!
I say, "This is what you get for breaking my heart, Steve," and I slam the milk down inside the Payless. You fucking flirt!
Steve screams, and his manager walks out, lifts you by your shirt like this, and physically hurls you out of the store. Battle for control of John. So you are still John. You are on your stomach in front of the Payless.
You fucking
How far is
flirt.
the KFC?
KFC's next door.
Okay, I go to the KFC.
You walk over to the KFC.
I go inside. And what's their shoe policy there? Probably no shirt, no shoes.
No shirt, no shoes, no service.
Alright, I go in and I try to order a number 2 combo meal.
The guy is so absolutely dead to the world that he just slowly nods his head. He says, "Alright, $6.75."
Alright. I don't have any money, so...
That's not going to work. You need more.
Really?
Yeah, no, could you have card?
No, let's be honest here. How much of this is really the food that I'm paying for, or more so the service? Because I can just go back there and make it myself. I want an extra biscuit.
He says, well, "No, you can't have a biscuit. You can't even go back there. I can't allow you. The boss will have my head."
I jump over the the little door of the counter.
Roll to jump over the counter. You jump over the counter, slam your groin into it, and collapse backwards into KFC. Battle for control
Which
of
side of the
John.
counter did we fall on?
Decide that you didn't want to be on.
Ah.
Battle for control of John. Okay, you're still John.
I try again.
Collapse on the ground and then get back and try to jump over again. You bound yourself.
counts.
Yeah, you bound over and like scrabble over the guy and push your way past it.
I just need to get my combo. What did I get? I got a 2?
You're on the forbidden side of the KFC.
And I'm talking as I'm like going in towards the fryers.
And he's like walking after
Wait,
you,
I'll keep the biscuits.
tugging after your shirt. A bunch of cooks are going to be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa."
It's okay, it's okay. I just got a 2 combo meal. I don't actually remember what a 2 combo meal is. And I just stopped there for a second. Whatever. And I just start grabbing biscuits and holding them in my shirt like Zach did with the light bulbs.
They're all kind of like looking over, and one guy is on the phone, and he says, "You need to leave right now. The cops are on their way."
Relax, man. Have a biscuit. And I give him the biscuit.
He takes the biscuit.
I push it against his face, though.
He takes the biscuit away from you.
Are you sure you don't want to mama bird it?
I mama bird it into it. Oh, I say, hold on, I'll help you with it. And I break off a piece, and I start chewing it, and I grab the man by the shirt on his shoulder, and I go, and I start like spitting it right up against his face.
Alright, you get punched in the face. Battle for control of John. You're still John. Your head is spinning. You may have just gotten a concussion, but you're not entirely sure.
What does his name tag say?
His name tag says Joe.
Alright. I start licking his face again. Like I come back up and I go straight for the face. And I go,
Don't lick me.
I'm not gonna. And I go, Steve! Baby!
He starts pushing away at you.
And I'm sobbing uncontrollably.
You hear sirens outside, and the door bursts open as 2 uniformed officers run up towards you, and one of them tasers you. Battle for control of John. You're John. You just got tasered. Your body is shaking violently, and you're handcuffed. You're being dragged out of the establishment. You are forcibly yanked out of the front door.
I go, okay, you know, like, so I'm like on the ground,
Yeah.
right? So I go, I like kick my feet up, and start running.
Roll to do that.
What would that run be called?
You trip over your shoeless feet, and you slam face forward into a car. Battle for control of John. Alright, Cody, you're John. You are face first against the car. Your hands are cuffed behind your back. There are a bunch of cops screaming at you and running from behind. And yes, you also think that you were just tasered because your body is still kind of twitching a little bit.
I'm gonna look around the shopping center we're in. Is there like a spirit store?
You know what? It's close to Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
there's
is.
one.
Okay.
You are still handcuffed, though.
Yeah. I don't know what to do about that yet. Car.
Yeah, you ran away and slammed your face
Those
into
two
a
things
car.
can coexist at
And
once.
they're running after you.
Oh, okay. Can't do anything until I get rid of the handcuffs, though.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Ain't that a doozy?
I'm gonna turn around and engage the cops in a fist-to-fist fight.
That's remarkably difficult. Your hands are behind your back.
It's okay.
Okay, go ahead. One of the cops runs towards you and tries to take you down. You swing out your foot and clip him right in the ankle, and he tumbles sideways and hits the ground.
I'm gonna fight the other one. Knock him down.
As the other guy approaches, trying to put down his walkie-talkie, but you headbutt him right in the nose and busted. He just howls in pain and falls on his butt.
I bolt towards the spirit store.
You bolt towards the spirit store.
I'm gonna try to look as inconspicuous as possible, head straight to the back, because I know no one in the spirit store knows
Roll
what
to
they're
try and not look conspicuous. Remember, you can bid.
3.
Battle for control of John. You are still John, but people are like looking very curiously as you wander towards the back of the spirit.
Okay.
Handcuffed.
Yeah, so I know the employees are always running around Halloween time, and they're not paying attention. So I'm going to go to the back and see if there's just a pair of bolt cutters or something I can use to break out of the handcuffs lying back there.
Good at using bolt cutters while handcuffed. Very specific skill.
You look back there. You don't really see like any kind of like bolt cutters or anything, but you do see some scissors.
I'm going to roll a strength check to break out of the handcuffs.
All right. How many did you put in?
That was 4.
4. Okay. 1. You
Fuck
fail.
me!
Battle for control of John. All right. You're still John. You just your shoulders hurt.
You're John, but you have less will than ever before.
There are some employees starting to mill about. They're not really approaching you, but they see kind of where you're standing, looking around, really confused.
Like really sad and dejected.
Really sad, dejected, and confused, wearing handcuffs.
Like
One of them approaches, walks towards, is like, "Are you okay, buddy?"
Yeah, I just need a little help with this. I need something that can cut through metal.
I don't think we have anything like that here. What's going on with these?
Go back to Target.
No, you see, my girlfriend, she's kind of into this. But in the middle of it, she dumped me.
It was Steve.
And now I'm just kind of stuck. And I thought she bought them here, so I was hoping you guys would have a way to get me out of it.
Okay, geez, hang on, we might have something. He comes back with some sort of like long spindly tool. He's like, we kind of use this when we can't find the keys for these. Hang on. And he starts fidgeting around with them back there. You stand awkwardly for. Give me you dice. Alright, you stand around awkwardly for like 10 minutes until eventually it pops off. Everyone battle for control of John. Okay, you're still John. You are free of the handcuffs.
I thank this person
Okay.
profusely.
Again.
Okay.
And I say, I've had a really bad day. I need to treat myself. Do you have a Batman costume?
He says, yeah, hang on. And he takes you to exactly 2 choices. You can either get the Batman versus Superman costume, or you can get the Adam West costume.
Adam West.
Heads is
Adam West.
Is Adam West.
Tails is Adam West.
Tails is Ben Affleck.
This is Adam West.
Okay.
Alright, he gives you the Adam West costume.
I ask if there's a changing room.
Yeah, sure.
Why is there a changing room?
As far as you can tell, not only did this guy get dumped in the middle of sex, he got dumped in front of the weirdest, most unpleasant night of BDSM of his life.
It's not even what he's into. He's
No.
just doing it because he loves her.
To practice her magic.
Alright, you...
I love the narrative.
She was trying to do the milk disappear trick. You didn't say it was sex, you just said my girlfriend's into this. She could just be a really shitty magician.
Yes.
The guy looks at you because he's like, it looks good. Do you want to buy it?
Yes, please. And I walk with him up towards the front of the store.
Okay.
And as soon as we're out the front, I run.
You burst out the front door wearing
You
the Batman
stole
costume.
Batman
You don't have to roll? Oh no, he absolutely does have to roll, but not from them. He has to roll because the cops had backup arrive.
Oh yeah.
And they start to run towards you.
Oh, hey. I run away. Sprint in the direction of where we got held up at the very beginning.
You head back to the bar, to the alley by the bar where you originally were.
Is he there?
He's not in the alley anymore.
I go into the bar.
You go into the bar dressed as Batman, and you look around. There are a bunch of like tough-looking dudes wearing leather jackets, and they look around. One of them narrows them and says, "Oh my fucking god! Are you really back here?"
I'm gonna run up to that guy and punch him and get into a fight.
Is your obsession justice?
No.
You run forward and you just punch him so squarely in the
You
jaw
started a bar
that he
fight.
swirls around and collapses on the fucking bar. He is unconscious. Battle for control of John.
Cody, how many pennies did you stock?
4.
Jesus.
He didn't do anything until he just became
Sure.
John. Guys, he's like, you just took out Jerry. What the fuck?
I run back out to the
Who do you think you are?
Actually, no, I'm gonna fight him too.
Okay, roll to fight him. You jump up and you like barrel kick him in the chest,
Yes.
and he collapses. Roll battle for control of John.
Okay. Now I run back out and I'm running back to the target.
All right, you get out. You run back towards the target. The cops standing outside look. You guys, so you run back over towards the target, and there are cops outside, and they do a double take as you run over.
Since everyone's out of coins, I'm just gonna say
you know
I have to fight crime dressed as a superhero. So since I'm a criminal for robbing Target multiple times,
Beat your shit.
I'm gonna beat myself up in front of the cops.
You run over in front of the cops, and you don't need to roll for this because you just punch yourself squarely in the face. But now everyone battles for
Make
control
him
of
roll
John.
anyway. See how well he punches.
Roll.
How much damage do you take?
Wait.
He breaks his own nose.
Oh my god!
Oh, I knew she had one.
The wrong kind!
Yeah, I've been keeping. I was like, there was 3 left at that time.
Did you count the ones on the table?
There,
I am bleeding.
your head is spinning.
You know
You're
what'd be
still-
really good for that blood?
What?
Some milk?
So that I just bolt past them and I
You
love it.
run into the target dressed as Batman.
And I really, really think I need some milk to cool off this nosebleed.
You book it towards the food section, and you just grab the milk.
I just grab the milk, I hold it to my face, and I run back out of Target.
Roll to try to escape target. As you run your way forward, someone just clotheslines you in the chest. Everyone battle for control of John. You're now John, and you're standing with milk in front of your face, and someone clotheslines you in the chest. You're not sure where you are, but there's milk in your face.
I'm just gonna say, justice needs me. Get up and run.
You succeed at running out of the store, holding the milk in front of your face as you book it.
Drink some.
I'm gonna throw it behind me as a distraction.
All right, you run out of the target, and as someone like opens the automatic doors, you fling milk backwards and crash it into their face. All right,
Okay, I'm gonna run to the KFC.
you run over to the KFC.
Let's
the
get
guy-
back to
There's
the
still
game.
cops. There are a bunch of cops outside.
Okay, well, I mean that's fine.
I like that everybody's calls to the police, by the way, have clearly changed from "there's this deranged man wearing no shoes and gloves" to "there's a man in a Batman costume with blood running down his
Batman
face."
is attacking us. This may be related to our previous call.
The guy behind the counter was clearly stoned. And weed is not legal in Minnesota.
Actually,
I'm gonna go beat
hold on, is medicinal.
Check for a card.
Oh my god!
Where's your card?
Give it to me.
There's no way it's medicinal.
I'm checking. If it is, then you have to roll.
You have an added
Fine.
step.
Are you gonna fight or run past the cops?
I'm gonna run past the cops.
Roll to run past the cops. All right, you succeed. You duck past the cops
Man,
and
running
sprint.
past the cops is easy
Sprint-
compared to
sprint-
trying
Medical marijuana is legal in Minnesota.
I'm gonna take my chances and beat him up.
Roll to punch the dude right across
It's
the
not very
face.
heroic to throw milk on the ground.
Alright, you jump and you just punch him right in the head. He crashes to the ground and collapses.
Okay, roll to see if he had a medical card.
4 or higher, he had one. 1 to 3, he's a dirty criminal. Deserve what he got.
Damn.
Yes!
That's it.
You punch yourself in the face. You get no points for it. You spiral, collapse, fall to the ground. John falls asleep. Alright, who was the best John?
How many points?
How many points did you get?
12.
12.
Wait, you gotta say what your obsession was. Too.
Alright,
Collecting light bulbs.
alright, you got 12 points.
You barely played and you fucking beat me. I have 10.
You said a target, and then as soon as I said that, I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. I don't even need my skills.
What
His
were your
skills?
skills?
Handling light bulbs fastly and without burning himself.
Because I was expecting us to be in a room and we were just gonna pull them out.
Oh my god.
Alright,
Just
Jess, what was your obsession?
My obsession is being thrown out of an establishment or location.
That's actually pretty
I
smart.
had 10 points.
Alright,
yeah. My obsession was stealing both jugs from Target, obviously, and I got 6 points.
what was
Yeah.
yours?
Fighting crime dressed as a superhero.
And how many points did you get?
6.
The winner is Zach,
Who played the least?
who played the absolute least because he was immediately escorted to the stockpile of his treasure. However, I would like to note, we had a very brave runner-up, and I personally would like to award the actual title of Best John to Jess.
Yeah, I have to say that was the best.
Because let's be entirely honest,
I know.
that was a complete train wreck from beginning to end.